The top 25 is out. Number one
Cue
team
the
in the
anger.
land. Cue the what?
Anger.
Oh.
By the way, again, just like the coaches poll, 14 of the 16 SEC teams are in the top 50, essentially, going into the season. 24% of the top 50 belong to the Southeastern Conference alone.
Next year's SEC.
Next year's SEC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good league. All right, so here's your AP top 25. The top 5 is not exactly the same. AP top 25, Georgia 1, same as the coaches poll. Michigan 2, same. Ohio State 3, and Ohio State got one first-place vote from an AP voter. Alabama was 3 in the coaches poll. Alabama 4, so just a little flip-flop there, and LSU at 5.
People thought Ryan Day was going to name his starting quarterback today. They moved a press conference up. Monday, new week, a few weeks before the game, all that stuff. Did the opposite. Was basically like, I don't know. And if this goes into the season, this goes into the season. So very different than what was expected from Ryan Day today.
6, 7, 8, and 9 are the same. Southern Cal at 6, Penn State at 7, Florida State at 8, Clemson at 9. The AP's got Washington at number 10, Texas at 11, and Tennessee at 12.
Really high expectations for Penn State. Really high.
Mm-hmm.
I love the value in Florida State making the college football playoff. For if you're really getting into it, throw 10, 20 bucks down on a future to win the championship. It's not that much money. Bet responsibly at Pearl River Resort, of course. But there's great value in that. Because if
Unless you're a football player at Iowa or Iowa State, then just abstain, please.
Or anywhere.
Or
if you're
anywhere.
a football player
Or anywhere
anywhere,
else.
don't do it.
Yeah, even high school. You're not old enough anyway. Like, go to Sonic. But, yeah, there might be some great value
Go to Sonic.
in Florida State there. You
I
probably
love
get
a
great
Butterfinger
odds.
Sonic Blast.
And man, they can. Will they? Probably not, but it's a bet for a reason.
13, 14, 15, the same in both polls. Notre Dame at 13, Utah at 14, Oregon at 15. Kansas State, reigning Big 12 champs, one spot higher in the AP poll at 16. Just flip-flop with TCU, who's at 17. Then you got Oregon State at 18. In the AP poll, Wisconsin is number 19. Oklahoma's 19 in the coaches poll. AP poll's got Oklahoma at 20, North Carolina at 21. Ole Miss at 22, exact same spot they were in the coaches poll. Texas A&M at 23. They were 25th in the other poll. Tulane at 24, which is one spot lower than they were in the coaches. And Iowa rounding out the preseason top 25 in the AP. Just outside the top 25, Texas Tech would have been 26. South Carolina would have been 27. Then it's UCLA, UTSA, Arkansas would have been 30. You've got Mississippi State receiving 4 votes, so that would be
They were on one ballot and they were 22nd.
so they would be 40 in the AP poll.
Yeah.
Preseason polls don't matter. You should not get upset by them. But here's me getting upset by them.
But I'm furious.
Auburn getting more votes than Mississippi State in the preseason top 25 it's so incredibly stupid. And Auburn might beat State this year. Who knows? Just what we know right now, from what is established and known today, Auburn getting more votes than Mississippi State makes 0 sense whatsoever. None. Absolutely none. Like, I get Kentucky. You can explain Kentucky to me. Although State's had success against Kentucky in recent years. Not last year, of course, but they've been able to beat them at home. I get Kentucky. Devin Leary's there. Auburn makes no sense at all. Absolutely none.
If you care about the FCS coaches poll, South Dakota State is the preseason number 1. North Dakota State preseason number 2. Furman, Borky's Paladins at number 6.
Yeah, they should be really good.
Mississippi State's week 1 opponent, Southeastern Louisiana, checking in at number 15 in the FCS poll. And if you want the D2 poll, Ferris State picked number 1. Delta State at number 10 in the preseason Division II coaches poll as well. Those are all the polls that I've got to give you.
Nice.
There you go.
Glad to have them.
There's not much difference in the AP poll and the coaches poll. You got a couple of teams that are flip-flopped by 1 or 2 spots. We kind of went through the coaches poll last week. Is there anything – I mean, Ohio State in front of Alabama versus Alabama in front of Ohio State, does that mean anything? No.
No. It's fun to
Are
talk
people
about.
too high on Southern Cal?
Possibly. We've gotten a couple messages, too, about how Ole Miss finished the year last year, so how can they be ranked? Because this isn't a poll of last year's teams.
But what I would say is, and this is something, the next national interview I'm going to do, I'm going to ask them about this, is that Ole Miss gets the benefit of the doubt, despite the fact that they lost 5 of their last 6. State finishes 9-4 in the top 20 and can't get the benefit of the doubt.
You know where, and history tells you otherwise. But in this case,
I know what it is.
It's the lack of continuity at head coach.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one way to put it. The other way to put it is that Mike Leach passed away, and he's not here anymore. If Mike, I've said it before, and I really do believe it. If Leach were still here, and we were talking about Will Rogers and his 4th year in the air raid, and all of those pieces were still there, I think State would be where Ole Miss is in the top 25.
I agree. They'd be ranked.
I think there's another factor, though. I don't think it's just what Mississippi State lost in Mike Leach. I think it's Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin gets the benefit of the doubt.
Kiffin gets the benefit of the doubt.
Voters.
I agree 100%.